I wanted, this is something new, and you're the first person I'm trying this on. We always have had this three people of nomination, but also I wanted to bring up some public figure of Manipur. And, you don't have to be very elaborate, but on the theme of gratitude, just something which comes out of your heart. So the first person I wanted to pick up today is the much spoken about Chief Minister of Manipur, Mr. N Biren.
Mr. Shri N Biren is a very special person to me uh, at different levels. All of us live our lives blaming the government, um, and the government is something to blame on, something to, reprimand, something to attribute all the faults in the society. And we are so far away from the government, we're so busy. But our honorable chief minister made the experience of government very close to me. When I was working in Ukrul, Tamenglong, and None during my campaign, and I'm a grassroots person. I work in the grassroots. So when I worked, I found few things which were not there. The basic requirements of a community, and many journalists from Manipur, when I spoke about them, they had uh, an attitude which I didn't like. They said that you have come from outside of Manipur and you are looking at these things as if they are a treasure you have found. But we have lived with these things which don't exist for common people. What is so great about writing about not having electricity? Why do you want to write about there is no road from Manipur, Imphal to Tamenglong? What is wrong with you, Urmila? Why don't you write about the rape case that has happened recently? Why don't you write about the woman entrepreneur who is doing food processing? And I was discouraged by that.
Mm-hmm.
I was discouraged by that because I found very little support. I'm not trying to put them down, but I would like to tell them that you should not get normalized to corruption. You should always
Mm-hmm.
wake up to it as a journalist. So I went ahead and wrote about the so-called mundane things that journalism don't like to talk about. So I wrote about a village in Ukrul which has not had electricity for the last 20 years. 20 years back, they had electricity for 7 days, and after that, the electricity was cut and they never got it. They went
Mm-hmm.
to the electricity department and asked what is the reason. And the reason which was told to them was very strange. They were told that the electricity has been cut off because they have not paid the bills for 20 years. Now, these are poor villagers who don't even have cultivation. They have gathering economy. They go to the forest and gather food. And they're very simple. Villages are very simple. So they came back and they sat over it. So when I reached this village, when I lived there for a week, not living without electricity comes with its own challenges. And I didn't know how to help them. I had gone there to raise awareness on menstrual hygiene, and electricity is not my domain.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt that as a journalist, I may not be able to do anything, but at least I can speak about it, how uncomfortable I was, and how uncomfortable the 2,500 people living in that village are. And I wrote about discomfort, and I wrote about aspirations, and I wrote about not having electricity for 20 years, what it means for the youth. And uh, this is when, within few hours, I got a call from the chief minister's office, and I was told that the government is going to work on it on a war footing. And on 17th of September, electricity came to this village called Tankul Hundungkulen, 60 kilometers from Imphal in Ukrul. And I thank Honorable Chief Minister for making my experience with the government not a far away kind of a relationship, but where you feel that you can speak and be heard. So that's what I had to say about him.
Right, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. So I think my purpose of adding public figure is because I believe in the intent and goodness of many of the policymaker of the public figure, and I feel that there is a gap between the people and the politicians, so as to speak. And I think it is our responsibility to also appreciate the politicians who are doing great job and who are having good intent in the progress of our society. So I think your example is something which I would have never known about it, because I unfortunately haven't read that article, but I'm going to look it up. But that's such an amazing story to share and let people know that the common people their voices can be heard, and we need like more journalists like you who would write about the people's
Yes.
voice and status. So thank you for sharing that. And also, I do appreciate, and we want to have a Thagatchari for our Chief Minister, Mr. N Biren, through our Finding the Voices show. I think one of the things for me to follow him is his visibility and transparency in the social media space. I think it's one of the very first time from a Manipuri politician, because earlier, we never had that transparency in terms of what's happening. And I am very happy to see that, he's very active in social media. And sometimes I can just go to his feed and see what's happening and get update on, the pictures and the activities he's involved in.
Yes, I agree with you, Monica. It's very difficult to be on social media and be accountable. When you are away from social media, your accountability is only through official lines. But when an authority from the government is on social media, your accountability spills into your personal life. It's a big commitment he's made.
Right. And also, I think it has opened up his channel to be open to the people, right? His connection to the
Yes,
people. And I think that's something we definitely need to appreciate. And I think people feel that, like, people feel that, oh, like, if we want to reach him, there is a way to reach him.
absolutely. I,
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah. All right. We would end our show, today's gratitude project. To all our listeners, once again, I want to invite you, to think about who inspires you, who empowers you. And, we should take the time to talk about them, nominate them, and they are going to be the role model for the young people, because it is our responsibility to talk about people who means something to us, who are important, for our community, and that would go a long way in community building. So, what are you waiting for? Come on, sign up. We are looking for 1001 Thagachari, and we are just in the beginning. So thank you so much. And
Thank you
thank
so
you,
much.
Urmila, for being in our show. And, your nominations are absolutely inspiring. All righty.
Thank you so much. Bye. Have a great day.
Yeah, bye bye.